Hey guys, I'm here today with my 2006 Toyota 4Runner. I want to talk about OBD-II scanners. I'm sure you guys have seen some stuff on this already. A lot of YouTubers have their favorites that they will talk about, and I'm going to be talking about the FIXD OBD-II Bluetooth scanner today. So this actually recently helped me diagnose a pretty nasty camshaft position sensor issue in this 4Runner. It's about a month ago. Had to take it to the shop, and this actually proved quite useful in just kind of figuring out whether it was a serious issue or just a check engine light that I could mostly ignore and drive the vehicle with. So basically what these Bluetooth sensors do, it plugs into your OBD-II port, which is located under your steering column. You plug it in, you connect it to the app on the phone, and you can see all sorts of diagnostics on your vehicle. You can check to see if your vehicle's ready for emissions. You can check different parameters in live gauges. You can see what check engine lights mean. And there's a lot of cool educational information within the app that I just kind of want to go over and show you guys today in this video. So first thing you have to do with these, you just plug them in underneath the steering column into the OBD-II port. All vehicles after 1996, all gasoline vehicles after 96, have this at some point in the vehicle, and I believe all diesel vehicles after 2006 have it as well, or maybe it's 2008. Once you've got it plugged in, all you have to do is start it up. You can open the app. I've already got this open, and if you just hit scan, it'll tell you if there are any issues. In my case today, we don't have any check engine lights, and everything I've had that was wrong with this 4Runner has been fixed and repaired. So, but I can actually go back and show you guys what I was experiencing a couple weeks ago. We can go to my scan history, and I had a camshaft position sensor problem. So basically what it was the P0345 code, but in my case, it was actually messed up wiring around cylinder 2, and it took a lot of work to find and figure out. The reason that this FIXD app was very useful is that it showed me how severe of an issue this was. So it gives you a code explanation, basically determines the timing of the camshaft, and if the sensor's not working properly, the engine will not be able to know when to inject fuel, and it may not run properly. It was running pretty well, but I would get a misfire on cold starts every now and then. So I figured it's probably something I wanted to take care of as soon as possible. And that's here listed under some of the consequences of continued driving. So I was able to get some estimates. The app at the time came up with around $300 to $400 to get it fixed. That's about what it was to replace the sensor. And it was actually a little bit more in my case just to kind of repair the wiring, but I have kind of an outlier. So the cool thing about the FIXD app is it gives you a lot of information within the app, whereas before if you had a code scanner, you'd have to go and Google a lot of this information. And here it's just presented to you right there, very easy to access. So right here, there's a video on the camshaft position sensor. It shows you what it is, how it works, some more information on what could be causing the issue, causes, symptoms, fixes. So it could say that it's possibly the sensor itself, or maybe it is a dirty, corroded, damaged wiring, or a faulty ECM. There's a lot of different issues. It also goes into telling you there are common mistakes that you can make. Just replacing the sensor may not fix it. It could also be wiring, a connector, or something like that. So very useful information that actually proved to be true when we figured out what the problem was. I decided this isn't something that I wanted to tackle on my own, so I took it to a shop that I trust, and they figured it out and fixed it after about a week or so in their bay. So you can even go in and see some advanced diagnostics of what was going on when that code was read. So you can see various things in the emissions results failed, my catalyst failed, my secondary air system failed. Of course, I had a check engine light on, and there were some other trouble codes. Now, there are some features in this app that are paid in the premium package, and that's about, I think, around $70 per year or $8 a month if you want to pay month to month. If I want to, I can go in and check my scan for my emissions pre-check right now. We don't have emissions in Michigan, but most other states do, and it can tell me that all of my systems pass with flying colors, which is great. So that means the 4Runner is running really well right now. A few other things that this app offers: you can go in and see live gauges. So if you're trying to diagnose an issue, you want to see some specific parameters. Right now I have a few different things. I have intake temperature, engine coolant temperature, you can see throttle position, engine load, stuff like that. And then you can go in and change these to whatever value you want or whatever metric you want to see in there. Interestingly enough, I actually used to use a Bluetooth OBD-II scanner to check my oil pressure and oil temperature when I was on track with my BRZ. This 4Runner doesn't support that, but a newer vehicle would. And if you're tracking your car, you could use this, if you don't have gauges already, as kind of a useful parameter to see how things are going when you're on the track. There's a few other different modes. You can do a 0 to 60 timer. Probably won't mess with that today. And if you want to use this with some of your other cars, there's a space here to add different vehicles. I've got my GX, my Volvo 850 on here, and of course this 4Runner. Another thing I like about this app is that it helps you track your maintenance. So it'll show you what's scheduled for your estimated mileage. You can see here around 240,000 miles, which we're just about at 241. It says to replace your air filter, cabin filter, spark plugs. I actually did the spark plugs at 240K along with some fluid changes. You can look ahead and see kind of what to expect in the future. It'll give you cost estimates, which are pretty in line with actual costs, which is pretty neat. You can also track your oil changes. This is maybe not as necessary, but I like to go about every 5,000 miles between oil changes, and it'll show me here when my next one is due. I also replaced the battery shortly after I bought this 4Runner, so I can see when I replaced that, and if there's not a sticker on the battery itself, I can use this app to track that. You can also measure the voltage from that. So we're going to turn off the engine and start the test. So I can see resting voltage is 12.7 volts. That's great. It's very healthy. So it'll give you kind of a green, happy over 12 volts. Under 12 volts, it'll go into kind of the yellow range, and then below that, when it's critically low, you'll be in the red. So it's kind of a neat, simple way to tell how healthy your battery is. The thing I like about this FIXD app is that it really does just kind of simplify and explain a lot of stuff that the majority of the population doesn't know about with their vehicles. It kind of takes car maintenance and puts it all into one place, and really gives you some neat tools to be able to just kind of take some of the stress and give you a little bit more knowledge with your vehicle maintenance and your vehicle repairs. If you opt for the premium subscription, you get a few different things. You can call a mechanic hotline and talk to someone, and they will help you diagnose your issue and give you advice one way or the other. You can do this emissions pre-check, which is very useful if you live in a state that does check for emissions. You can see future issues that are very common in your type of vehicle. So in this Toyota 4Runner, there we go, camshaft position sensor issues, and it'll tell you kind of what mileages the issues crop up at. And you can see over, between 130 to 190,000 miles, it's pretty common. Of course, this is a little bit higher mileage than that at 240K, but you can see it's pretty common to happen in these 4Runners. You've also got catalyst efficiency issues, of course, catalytic converters failing, and crankshaft position sensor issues. You can also go in and see an incident history report. For some reason, it's not showing up on this 4Runner, but you should be able to go in and see kind of accidents and any service history on your vehicle. You can also check for recalls on a separate website on the NHTSA. So you just plug your VIN in, paste it, and it'll take you to anything that you might need to be doing with regard to recalls, or if they've already been taken care of, you're in good shape. I'll say that probably my favorite thing about this FIXD app is just the fact that it estimates the cost of repairs. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what things should cost before you go into a shop. And I know in some cases, dealers can really rake you over the coals. A lot of independent shops are very honest and trustworthy, and there are a lot of honest and trustworthy dealers out there too. But knowledge is power, and it's always good to just kind of go in knowing a little bit more than you would otherwise. And a tool like this can really help you do that and save some money. This is only 20 bucks with my affiliate code. So this is a sponsored video. Normally it's around $60 for a fixed OBD-II scanner. And with my discount code in the description, you can get one for 20 bucks. So actually I got one for my mom, I got one for myself, and she hasn't used it yet. She hasn't needed it yet. But when she does, she should be able to plug everything in, do it all herself, and just kind of get an idea of what may be going wrong with one of her old Volvos. So anyway, this is a nice product. It's very cheap. It's very affordable. There are some other ones that do more out there, but they also cost a little bit more. And I think this is something that everyone should have in their vehicle or in their garage or toolbox at any one point in time, just so that they can kind of get a better idea of what's going on with their car. If they get a check engine light or something pops up, a code that they need to clear, it does take some of the guesswork out of the ownership experience. All right, guys. Well, anyway, that is the fixed OBD-II scanner. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. We're just going to go for a quick drive in the 4Runner here. We've got some all-terrain tires coming in from Firestone in the next week or so. We ordered some Destination XTs. They're 32 inches in diameter, so we'll get a little bit of extra ground clearance and off-road capability with those. Hopefully we'll get some snow and be able to test those in the snow, because they do have the winter snow peak rating, and we just haven't gotten a lot of snow in Michigan this winter. We've had all these storms in the Midwest and the East Coast, and it's all just kind of missed us here in Metro Detroit. So hopefully we can get some more inclement weather to test some tires and just kind of get some time behind the wheel on this 4Runner in the snow, because I know on these tires right now it's pretty sketchy. So it'll definitely be a welcome improvement. That's pretty much all the news on this 4Runner so far. Hope you guys got something out of this fixed OBD-II scanner video. Again, it's just a really nice tool to have handy if you ever need it. It's not that expensive, and it does work quite well and kind of demystifies some of the codes that may pop up in your ownership experience. So anyway, guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in buying one, use my code in the top comment and in the description. It's only 20 bucks. Hopefully it'll save you guys some money in the long term. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.